Coming up on NewsWatch Ole Miss, a FedEx employee was killed in Memphis today.
There will be an expansion from 4 to 12 teams in the college football playoffs.
Finals are next week, and we've got some tips on how you can finish strong. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now. Good evening and welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Kennedy Cooper.
And I'm Olivia Wright. Breaking news, the man accused of murdering Ole Miss student Jay Lee has now been released on bond. Timothy Harrington Jr. was charged with first-degree murder in the missing persons case of Jimmy J. Lee. Harrington says there has been no direct evidence to implicate him in Lee's murder and has maintained his innocence since being charged and previously filed a lawsuit against Lafayette County Sheriff's Department, claiming he was being illegally held in jail. Harrington had been in jail in Lafayette County without bail since July 22nd. District Attorney Ben Creekmore and Harrington's defense team made an agreement for Harrington to receive bond while surrendering his passport and wearing an ankle monitor. A FedEx employee was killed at the FedEx facility in Memphis yesterday afternoon. Authorities say that the details of the incident are still under investigation, and the company has not specified the circumstances of the employee's death, including the individual's identity. The shipping company wishes their thoughts and prayers to the workers, families, friends.
The number of Memphis Shelby County school students and families experiencing homelessness increased drastically in 2022. The Office of Student Enrollment, Equity, and Discipline is using nearly $3 million in stimulus funds through the American Rescue Plan Act to find as many families facing housing insecurity as possible. The district identified 1,264 students facing homelessness for the year 2021 and 2022, and 538 during the first quarter. The numbers for 2022-2023 school year resulted in 1,504. Specialist Taylor Payne and her fellow specialists are responsible for 10 to 20 schools working with staff to connect with families. All housing situations are kept confidential.
Multiple Mississippi facilities are growing medical marijuana, and hundreds of people are already on the wait list for their medical cards. But there are still a couple of weeks before anything can happen. The Mississippi Cannabis Patients Alliance says that marijuana testing facilities should be opening up their products to the public around mid-December. For patients interested in the medical marijuana, the Mississippi Department of Health is encouraging people not to delay when applying for a medical card. This is so there is an overwhelming amount of applications once the dispensaries officially open. Once your application is sent in, you should be receiving an approval notice from the Department of Health.
In Oxford this holiday season, retailers and consumers are dealing with inflation as they shop for holiday gifts. Indicators of how the season will turn out are being closely watched. Owner of Olive Juice and Olive Juice Kids, Aaron Young, experienced the busiest Black Friday weekend at the gift shop in 12 years. Chris Vincent, owner of Vincent Outfitters, says sales were up 5 to 6% during Black Friday weekend, but this doesn't make up for the 10 to 12% inflation. Still, owners have restocked and restored and are looking forward to the rest of the season. If you follow Oxford Police Department on social media, you may have noticed some posts about golden ticket winners at Central Elementary School. So what are these kids being recognized for? We caught up with Officer Anderson and Miss Glider at the school to find out.
My name is Officer Anderson. I'm the SRO at Central Elementary, and I was asked what is the golden ticket. So the golden ticket is basically an incentive program that we have here to where if you receive a golden ticket either by Officer Anderson or one of the teachers here in the school, you can redeem that for a book out of the library that is completely yours.
It's important because when they see the peers getting the rewards, it usually encourages the other students to mimic those behaviors, and that builds character school-wide. Also, it does encourage them to do reading, which is they're getting a free book out of it, so we're encouraging them to read at the same time. So we are building character, but we're also trying to strengthen them academically.
Isaiah was my recipient of the golden ticket last month, And Isaiah basically did a good deed and that didn't go unnoticed. And we had a teacher who was injured, and Isaiah heard about them having the injury and having to forego a wedding because of the injury, and he went and bought Mr. Clay a chain and bought Miss Gilder a coffee cup. And when I heard about that, I was like, my man's got to get the golden ticket. And so he got the golden ticket, and he redeemed it for a book, and I think it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid is what he got. Is that what you got? Mm-hmm. That's it. So this is Isaiah, and this is our golden ticket guy, and that's what it is.
Finals start on Monday, and after coming back from Thanksgiving break, students are completely focused on finishing the semester, but this can put a strain on them as well. NewsWatch reporter Valicia Gavin spoke to students and professors to see how they plan to approach this week and what advice they can give.
Finals are coming up, which means it's crunch time for everyone. Professors are trying to get grades in while students are trying to get grades up. During this time, students are experiencing a little more stress than normal.
Everyone is just scrambling to either catch up or get caught up, or, you know, people are last minute, so everyone is just, you know, stressed.
Professors even noticed the changes in students' behavior.
Attendance is way up during this week. Students are asking more questions. I think they're more engaged, and they're really more focused on the end side, the end in mind. What some of them are looking at their missing assignments to make sure that they are asking if they can make up those missed assignments, because they're just really a lot more focused this week.
Clearly, finals are a stressful time, but there are some things students can do in the classroom and at home to give themselves some relief.
I plan on, you know, meeting with all my professors prior to the exams to touch bases on them to make sure I know the material well enough to maximize my success.
I would review my syllabus one more time too to make sure I knew what to expect and what was coming up. But I would look at short study bursts, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then take a break and then go back to it. But definitely the 8 hours of sleep and making sure you're getting regular meals so that your body can focus on and your mind can focus on really absorbing the material.
Knowing how to manage your stress is key for these last 2 weeks. Students are very focused on completing their classes for a successful semester. I'm Valicia Gavin, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Tonight is the annual Hotty Toddy Holidays event at the Union, and reporter Phoebe Kramer went to look at the setup and see what fun is in store. Phoebe?
Thanks, Olivia. Today, right now, I'm outside of the Lyceum Circle where SAA is holding their annual tree lighting event with special appearances of our Miss University, Allie Hooper, our baseball coach, Mike Bianco, and our UN Gospel Choir. Also, they're hosting Hotty Toddy Holidays, which is in front of the Union Plaza, and they're holding ice skating and other special activities to do. I'm Phoebe Kramer, back to the desk.
Coming up, new spinal surgery technology is now used in Mississippi.
And Memphis International Airport is getting an upgrade to help with colder weather conditions. But first, here's Hannah Wong with a look at your current conditions.
Good evening, I'm Hannah Wong with your NewsWatch Ole Miss weather. It's currently 48 degrees here on the campus of Ole Miss, and as the sun starts to drop, so do the temperatures. Keep watching for tonight, tomorrow, and our 5-day forecast on NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Does it ever seem like some people are actually trying to destroy the planet? And the rest of us are like, hey, we need this planet. Some people may be slow to learn, but they'll eventually get the message.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When you have a hole in your neck, don't face the shower head.
Suction out your tube before you eat. Crouch. Don't bend over. You don't want to lose the food in your stomach. Don't use spray paint.
Be very careful shaving.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Legacy isn't just about where you're from, it's about where you're going. So where are you going?
I'm going to be the first in my family to graduate.
I'm going to make a difference.
Just like my granddad.
I'm going to make the bestseller list.
And I'm going to help him get there.
I'm going to win a championship.
Again! I'm going to lock the vault! Hotty toddy!
I'm going to take the next step.
I'm going to bring them to their feet.
I'm going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Build your legacy.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Dr. Benjamin Birch just made history as the first surgeon in Mississippi to use a new spinal technology in surgery. The new SD machine vision technology provides surgeons with an increased visualization during active surgery and decreased radiation exposure for the patient, all while reducing the surgery time. Dr. Birch compares this new machine to self-driving automobiles. Patients in Mississippi no longer need to travel to big cities to receive the new and improved spinal treatments, as Dr. Birch practices out of Baptist Health right here in Oxford.
Memphis International Airport has a new tool in its toolbox to help get planes to their destination when the weather gets colder. That's critical because the airport is an important gateway for cargo deliveries. Sheila O'Connor has details.
One by one, U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg met the workers who help operate this new de-icing facility at Memphis International Airport. The 3.3 million square foot facility is a first of its kind here in Memphis. Memphis is home to FedEx and the largest cargo hub in the country. Buttigieg said investments like this de-icing facility are key to the supply chain.
It helps things get to where they need to be on time, and it ultimately helps make shipping more affordable. These are the kinds of investments that keep our supply chains moving, and that's why I wanted to help bring some attention to it today.
Ahead of the holiday season, airport leaders say this new facility cuts down the time it takes for planes to de-ice and then hit the runway. They said it's becoming a win-win for both cargo and passengers.
All they have to do is get them away from the gate, and the process down here at this de-ice pad will be efficient. And from de-icing, they go right to a runway and take off.
On top of improving the supply chain, Buttigieg and airport leaders touted the environmental benefits of the new facility. Airport CEO Scott Brockman said it can store the fluid that runs off the plane during the de-icing process, benefiting Memphis's wastewater treatment facility.
That liquid will be sent to them through a pipeline, and they will meter it into their wastewater treatment facility, and it helps them in breaking down waste.
Buttigieg mentioned the future of infrastructure.
That's what it means to have both cost-effective and environmentally responsible investments, and that's what I think the future of infrastructure is going to look like.
Sheila O'Connor, Fox 13 News.
Good news if you're on a budget. The Family Dollar store just announced that they will be lowering the prices of all their stores to help win back customers on tight budgets. The general stores company admits that they have been losing ground to their popular competitors such as Dollar General over the last decade. In this time, the Family Dollar store's prices have been more expensive by 10 to 15% compared to Dollar General. Executives say that lowering the prices will help keep the well-known American chain alive and in the future.
A few years ago, pioneering football referee Stephanie Frappart became the first woman to take charge of a major men's European club match. And now she's poised to make more history on Thursday, along with two female colleagues at the World Cup.
I didn't think about breaking barrier or making history, just only doing my job and only that.
Could you see a woman officiating the Men's World Cup final?
I think everything can happen now.
Honestly, do you think?
Yeah, sure. There is a woman who are appointed in the Under-17 World Cup, so now everything is possible.
And now back to Hannah with another quick look at the weather.
It will be raining and it will be pouring here in Oxford next week, but you better not be snoring because final season is upon us here at Ole Miss. You can see we'll have showers Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for the rest of the week, but keep watching for your finals week forecast on NewsWatch Ole Miss weather.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Two flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. It's currently 48 degrees outside and the sun is setting as it gets chillier. And we'll see tonight's low be 36, not quite hitting freezing yet, but it will be cloudy with light winds and a slight possibility for some showers. And we can see the same thing in our area with current temperatures 49 for South Haven, 51 for Holly Springs, 48 Corinth, 48 Oxford, and 50 in Tupelo. Tomorrow it will be a little bit warmer for your Friday forecast with a high of 59 degrees. It will be cloudy and have some occasional rain though, so make sure you pack a rain jacket just in case. And the same thing tomorrow with South Haven at 59, Holly Springs at 58, Oxford at 59, Tupelo with 60 degrees, and Corinth at 58. And we all know that finals are coming up, and while you go out to do really well on your test, make sure that you pack an umbrella and rain jacket because we'll see rain, and more rain next week. We have high percentages of rain every day next week, but there will also be some warmer temperatures to start off the week. And our 5-day forecast, the high tomorrow, like I said, is 59, a low of 55. We have highs of 61, 50, 61 again, and a lot bit warmer. Tuesday with your high of 68 and lows in the 30s, 40s, and climbing up to the 50s. But it will be raining every day next week. So, expect rain for finals next week, ladies.
Oh, wow. I can't.
And speaking of rain, Campbell, I know that's not great for sports. So tell us what we've got going on coming up.
Well, coming up, Quinshon Judkins is the talk of the nation once again, and some exciting news regarding the women's basketball team. I'll have that and more up next in sports.
Creating a legacy takes time, takes dedication, spirit, and a greater vision. That vision starts here at the University of Mississippi. What will you be remembered by? Your character, your contributions, your friendship. Your legacy will define who we are now and who we are becoming for our state, our students, and our future. Ole Miss, Build your legacy.
Bring it. Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry. I'll see you later.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Quinshot Judkins, a pretty popular name around Oxford, was named the finalist for the Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year award earlier today. This award is presented to a college football freshman every year for their outstanding performances on the field. Judkins has had a freshman year for the books as he has broken Ole Miss's records for rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. Along with those Rebel records, he also leads the SEC in rushing yards per game. The player to receive this award will be revealed on December 29th and formally given the award in March of 2023. And the Rebels of the women's basketball team will be having a pretty fun summer as they have announced they will be going on a foreign tour to Italy. This 9-day tour will start on July 30th and end on August 8th. Rebs will get to play 3 games along with sightseeing and learning all about the country. These Rebs will also get to travel to Rome and see some of the most amazing landmarks that Italy has to offer. The team is extremely excited about this opportunity and are ready to make lifelong lasting memories with the sport and the teammates that they love. And speaking of basketball, the NBA is starting its second month of the season, and the Memphis Grizzlies are starting off pretty strong. I was able to see all the action last Friday night as the Grizzlies hosted the New Orleans Pelicans. Here's how the game turned out for the Grizz. The month of October for a lot of people means pumpkins and a spooky season ahead. But for Memphians, it means that Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies are back in action. The Grizz had their home opener Wednesday, October 19th against the New York Knicks. Grizzlies players were escorted out by Memphis rapper NLE Choppa, the first time an NBA team has had such an entrance. The Grizz came out strong in the first half, scoring 36 in the second quarter. The Knicks came back hot in the second half with tough defense and enough threes, well, to tie the game. Ja Morant attempted to seal the deal late in the game with an insane layup, but was called for an offensive foul. So, the Grizz and Knicks went into overtime. The Grizz showed their grit and grind in overtime, and sure enough, the streamers came down and fans celebrated with joy. Ja Morant ended up with 34 points and Desmond Bane with 6 assists. Fans stood outside the Forum before and after the game, celebrating with live music, and they were pretty excited.
They gave us so much fun, Jaws the GOAT!
The Grizz hope to fill this season with big energy and make Memphis Big Memphis. The Grizzlies are now ranked 4th in the West, and they'll take on the 76ers tomorrow night in Memphis. And the Rose Bowl has finally reached an agreement with the college football playoffs about some future plans. Starting in the 2024-2025 season, there will be an expansion to 12 teams in the playoffs. The first round of playoffs will be located at home for the higher-ranked team or at the site of their request. As the playoffs go on, the quarterfinals will be played in the Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Sugar Bowl, while the Fiesta Bowl and Peach Bowl will host the semifinals. The national championship in 2025 will be held in Atlanta, but will be moved to Miami in 2026. And that's all I've got for sports. Be sure to follow us at rebel_watch for the latest sports updates. With Sports Watch, I'm Campbell Holmes. Now, back to Kennedy and Olivia at the desk.
Thanks, Campbell. Have you heard what National Day it is today?
It's a day to honor a very important historical figure. Find out more after the break.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. Ready! That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils too. These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Today is National Rosa Parks Day.
A day that recognizes the civil rights hero who boarded a bus on December 1st, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama after a long day of work.
She took her seat in the colored section, but as she rode home, the bus began to fill. At the time, a city ordinance allowed bus drivers to assign seating, but did not permit them to demand passengers give up their seats.
When the bus driver asked Parks to give up her seat, she refused. Police arrested her and would follow his civil rights history. The courts found Parks guilty of violating the city ordinance and fined $10 plus a court fee.
That's when African American leaders, including Martin Luther King Jr., organized the Montgomery bus boycott for the date of Rosa Parks' trial.
The boycott succeeded and lasted several months, devastating the transportation system in Montgomery. Wow, what a time to be alive, huh?
I know, really.
That was an important day in history.
Mm-hmm.
We've come a long way.
What a great national holiday. And that's all for NewsWatch Ole Miss tonight. I'm Olivia Wright.
And I'm Kennedy Cooper. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 5.
Thank you and good night.